And actually, with yellow going that far, a clearance on red would not only save this hoop, but, you know, potentially the Kiwis can get back into 7 quite easily now.
Yeah.
So it just requires Helen to make this 7-yarder, and it doesn't need to shift red all that far either.
No, it doesn't, because it's quite tight to the hoop. But she just needs to get something on red here.
Yep,
She has.
that's enough. Nice shot.
Ooh, do you think she'll be taking the rush on yellow?
I think
position in front of the hoop's better, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's just the angle doesn't look like it looks like it's going to be a big cut rush. So if you're going to even try to get it right, already red is disappearing up the lawn. And then black's not so far away, like you'd expect black to be able to clear yellow even if yellow does get good position. So I think just stick red in position here, keep things simple for the time
Looks
being.
like what she's done.
And that's very good
it
position.
was going for the block. Do you think black's got an in off red there?
I don't think it's easy enough that you'd think to play for it. It's a bit of a bonus, like, you know, if you catch red on the right-hand side. I think you'd aim centre ball here.
I don't. Yeah, no, I agree. But I don't think blue's got very much of red. So I think that they will be looking at the clearance on red here.
Yeah, but I think you aim centre ball and you think of it as a bonus.
If you get anything on the right.
Yeah, if you hit it on the right, black will collide with the hoop and it won't go too far afterwards. But I think to play for it is very greedy. I think black has to remove red here, right?
Yeah, and I don't think and not going at much of a pace either.
No, black has to hang around. You can't bank on black ending up in the jaws after this shot. And I don't think the situation is desperate enough, or I'm really not sure about this position at all.
Oh, I don't like that.
I think this is just asking for trouble.
Yeah.
Black could end up blocking blue's hoop shot, and even if black gets good position, you'd think yellow could clear that, right? It's a bit close to red. It could be a bit of an awkward clearance for yellow. But
I don't like this. There's a big hill here.
I don't know. If you get the block, you've got a 1-foot hoop run, and at 5-1 down, if you just play exchange croquet, you're gonna lose. You need to take a risk, and I think this is an okay risk to take. You're right about the hill, though. And
that's held. Whether or not it's impacted the block or not, I'm not sure.
I don't know. Looking at their faces, they don't seem that happy with that. It's still a 7-yarder. If blue catches the left-hand side of red, there's a chance black will be cleared anyway. I don't know. If yellow took on the clearance with black there, I suppose there's a possibility that you might end up clearing your own ball as well.
Yeah, there is. I think that's a significant risk of taking on the clearance, but.
And if yellow does get the block there, it's hoop over. And she's found the gap.
That looks like it went through a gap. Didn't think there was a gap.
So it's worked out okay for the Aussies. I'm not sure.
It has, especially given that I'm not sure what black's going to have down to hoop 8.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, regardless of how far red runs this, really. Okay, so Alison needs to get quite a bit of distance on this as well as running the hoop. Yeah, it looks like she's not taking that much wire, so she's got past the peg.
Yeah, past the peg, and actually looking at black's position.
A good amount of the way down to.
Black is. What can black do? I think black's best bet here is just to stop yellow getting down. I think Ellie might be kicking herself if she doesn't spot that.
No, I think this is okay. I think coming out. Oh, well, you want to go further down the lawn than that, though. I think.
No, that's gone. No, I think perhaps black snuggling up to yellow might have been an okay option. Because as it stands, yellow can go tight position and red can interfere with black.
Yeah, but Ellie, at worst case scenario, Ellie's going to have a 7-yarder for the hoop here. If blue manages to take position in front of the hoop, blue's approaching from a bit of an
7-yard clearance.
Sorry, yeah, 7-yard clearance for the hoop. You know, that's not that bad, given where she was.
But is it a 7-yarder clearance that she'll be expecting to clear the full 21 yards available to her?
That's unlikely, but clearing it 14 yards might be good enough.
Actually, having seen where blue is a long way away, so banking on blue taking tight position is maybe not the best strategy.
You're not looking at blue taking tight position here. I think blue taking position at 2, 3, 4 yards here, I would be happy with.
Yeah, I mean blue's strayed a bit past there, but I think given that Helen was taking position from 30 yards, I suppose, and I think she had to prioritise tight position. I think I think that's an okay outcome.
I disagree. I think prioritising a hoop running shot is more important because black's got a clearance on yellow. You're saying Alison is taking this shot with red, and if she misses it, I'm taking this. I'm taking whatever hoop shot you're giving on with blue.
Mm.
Yeah, so Alison's missed.
Alison has missed, and
but she's hung around.
She's hung around, but
so
a good stop shot here by Ellie would
yeah,
give the Kiwis another commanding lead at a hoop.
Yeah.
I mean, it is 5-2 to the Aussies. Sorry, to the Kiwis.
Let's go a little bit further over to the next hoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're currently 5-2.
Yeah. So black's held a little bit, but it's not in hoop running position.
No, and it's in a very dangerous position
It
near to red,
is.
which is going
Red
to fall,
can clear that a long way.
which is going to force blue to clear yellow with. Oh, that's quite deep. Oh, I don't like that.
I don't like that at all. I mean, yellow didn't want to be so close to the hoop that blue could clear and hold position, but I think yellow has gone far too deep there. I really don't think where Ellie's putting him out is a good spot. I don't think you want to be that side of the hoop, do you?
Problem is,
it's a bit awkward.
Nowhere's good.
Wherever you go, you're going to get cleared. I mean, really, this is a better situation than wherever you go, black's going to have a 20-yarder and yellow's going to run.
Well, I mean, if you come further across and at a similar depth to yellow.
I think you want to go to the right of the hoop and kind of go near black, right?
So yeah, so I think I would be looking sort of further along that line that Ellie was standing on, more where Ellie is now. I think I would be looking at, and just committing yourself to the fact that black's going to be clearing red wherever red goes in front of the hoop. But I'm not really sure what that is. That looks like it's giving yellow a clearance to a wide position on the boundary.
Yeah, I don't like blue position there too much, but is Alison clearing it?
It is, okay. That's
That
perhaps they were just banking on Alison clearing it rather than putting a ball in front, because now it allows them to be able to do this, which gives them the momentum. I don't like that clearance from Alison.
I'm not sure why blue needed to be cleared there.
I don't think it did. I think a ball in front is better.
I think actually...
Because now we've switched, haven't we? Now the New Zealanders are putting a ball in front and the Australians are clearing, rather than if Alison had put red in front, then the Kiwis are clearing. And
is yellow clearing here or going for the hoop? If
yellow's clearing here.
If yellow's going for the hoop, then I can understand blue's clearance. But if yellow's just going to clear anyway...
I don't think you can afford to go for that hoop with blue and red where they are, and black in such a nice position at 5-2 down.
I don't either, but...
I think this just needs to be a gentle push on black. Yeah.
But I really don't know what that achieves. I think yellow needs to hold position, but at the same time clear black far enough that black can't stop shot yellow, and that's a big ask at. This is an awkward range to do a stop shot at.
Yeah, it's not really stopped. It's just out of it, isn't it? Really. But I assume that's what she'll be going for. She hit the hoop, so she was a little bit lucky she didn't lose yellow further on that shot.
Do you think she was going for the in-off?
No.
No, the in-off is...
If
you get it, it's great.
The in-off's greedy because if you lose it, your ball's on the boundary, and she won't be looking for lines of play that give her that clearance as the shot to win the hoop.
No. I mean, I think the hoop, just a direct hoop run was easier shots than attempting the in-off.
So again, this is the far side of the hoop.
I don't know. A couple of minutes ago, I would have thought that the Aussies had the lead at this hoop, and after Alison's clearance of blue, it seems to have switched.
It's shifted. Well, the Kiwis have got the momentum. They're forcing the clearances from the Australians.
Yeah, I felt like red's clearance was a wasted shot. So now Alison's trying to grab back the initiative by placing a tighter shot.
It's runnable.
I like that position shot. I mean, it would have been nicer to see it blocking blue. I think that's what she was going for. It doesn't really matter because black's going to clear anyway. But I quite like that, especially if it's followed up now by yellow blocking blue tight to the hoop.
Yeah.
I think that's the next play.
Which I think it will be. I think that's the shot they'll choose to go for.
But I mean, we've seen some drastic just hilling off around this hoop. Like just very close to it. And so banking on getting yellow, slap bang in front, blocking blue. I don't know if in these conditions it's what you want to be relying on.
No, and I think from previous play, Helen, well, regardless of where yellow ends up, assuming that she can see the hoop, Helen will be going for this hoop.
Yeah, and I think she'll be right to, right?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. The New Zealanders are well up in this game because they've been taking on their sort of middle range hoops, and they've been executing them well.
So yellow's
so
got
that's open.
Yeah, yellow's got a tight position.
But black's only
hasn't
7
got the
yards away.
block.
Black's only 7 yards away, so if you're happy with that return clearance, this is a good hoop shot to be taking on, which it looks like they are.
And I like this attitude in the. Well, let's see if they do go for the hoop. I think she should, and I think so far I quite like the attitude to this game that Ellie and Helen have shown. Of I know I can run this hoop. I don't really care that yellow's in front because I'm going to run it before she gets a shot, and I think that's why they're well up.
Yep, I agree. So yeah, that's a hoop shot. Ooh, bit of
Ooh, good effort.
Yeah, blue didn't have in a useful place. Black's still got that clearance on yellow, remember? So.
Yeah, I mean blue can run that. It makes black's clearance a little bit iffy.
Yeah,
because
it's just bouncing off the inside bit of the hoop there.
But I think that was a good choice of shot, and the shot execution was good too. It was just a difficult hoop shot. And
this will be Alison clearing blue.
yeah, I think that's fine, isn't it? Like you're just making sure that in the event that Ellie nails yellow, that the Kiwis don't get a cheap hoop.
Yeah, absolutely. Both balls have gone off screen though, so lost them halfway across the lawn a little bit on that shot, but immediate danger removed. So yeah, so that's probably just a discussion about the pace at which to go for this.
So the first priority here is that yellow can't run the hoop after this shot. After that, the second priority is that Ellie doesn't go miles away. It's not very important that yellow goes to the other side of the lawn. It's more important that black doesn't. And that is exactly the shot she wanted to play.
Yeah.
That's cracking.
She wouldn't be having that back.
No, not at all. And now, who's ahead in this hoop?
Kiwis have got the advantage, I think.
Well, look at the distance.
Black's in a commanding position. Anything that's a couple of yards in front of that hoop is being dispatched towards corner 2. Yeah. So,
and it looks like the Aussies are taking defensive line, trying to get wide.
I think that's a very tricky shot from the position from where she's playing yellow from.
I think it's a tricky shot, but also why not go 4 yards back, 4 yards slap bang in front of the hoop.
Force Ellie to play the big clearance.
I think it's outside of Ellie's comfortable. Like I'm going to clear this a mile away, and you're also threatening the hoop. The Aussies have seemed a little reluctant to put balls in front of hoops and run it, right?
Yeah. So I think the default perhaps has been that their approach is that they're going to clear.
Yeah.
To engage in a clearing battle. Whereas the New Zealanders seem to be focusing more on trying to generate themselves a good hoop shot.
Yeah.
Good hoop shot chance.
I think fundamentally GC is about putting a ball in front of the hoop and running it. It sounds overly simplistic, but I mean Helen's been putting a ball in front of the hoop, and then when she's left the hoop shot, she's been running it. And if you can do those two shots and string them together consistently, the other players have to play extremely well. They have to have a very high clearing ratio if they're going for clearances all the time. So what do you reckon to red? This has got to hang back as well, because black is still commanding the area close to the hoop.
Oh, I don't like. Oh, what's that?
And is that?
So I think I would have probably been aiming for maybe wide position behind blue, so black couldn't see me.
But what was red trying to achieve there?
Not sure.
I
think that's too close to red.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I think I'd much rather be straight in front, 3 or 4 yards back with black.
I think the only way red can be useful there is if red has a very short stop shot next turn.
And it's now got one.
If black is deeper, then red really doesn't have too many options. And Judy's lost that yellow again. If that had been a stop shot, then this hoop could begin to turn around for the Aussies.
It looks like Ellie's got away with that position on black because of that clearance not coming out as a centre ball.
But actually, if red's got the option...
Blue comes back to position.
I'd like to see Alison stop shot blue here.
Yeah,
because they need to get.
Black's not got a hoop shot.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult shot to try and get in the draws. But yeah, stop. Well, but maybe a little bit more of a drag on red potentially rather than a stop shot, just so it doesn't end up too close to black at the end of the shot. A couple of yards further to the right or deeper at the hoop, I think, would be useful on blue. But it looks like they might actually not be looking at clearance and might be looking at position potentially.
No, this has to be. I think this has to be a stop shot.
Yeah, it looks like a stop shot, but she's lining up for black. No, I agree. I much prefer blue, and I think if you can get red to go another couple of yards on it, it's much nicer. Oh, I don't like that.
But something like that with blue, where red goes not quite as far.
How are the Aussies? The Aussies need to generate themselves a hoop shot here, and I think you'd have got a much better position on red if you'd gone off blue, and black wasn't.
Well, the thing is,
unlikely to be in immediate danger.
Yeah, I think right now they're stuck clearing, and when they've had the option to go in front of the hoop, they've instead gone for defensive.
They have, and I think the New Zealanders have perhaps twigged that.
Yeah, the Aussies really need to generate themselves a hoop shot here, because right now they're stuck clearing, and eventually they're going to miss a clearance. And then we've seen good hoop running from Helen, we've seen good hoop running from Ellie. The Kiwis are going to run whatever they've the Kiwis in contrast have just been putting a ball in front of the hoop, and the Aussies have just been reacting the entire time.
Yep, nice clearance there.
It's a nice clearance.
Yellow's run on a bit again, hasn't it?
I think at the range she was, it would be difficult to generate much stop.
You're going to lose yellow, aren't you?
And this is the other problem. You might back yourself to do 4-yard clearances, but a clearance just buys time unless your other ball's in front of that hoop ready to run.
This might actually have a decent line for getting the block as well, red on black here. Looks like that's... Oh, no. Don't think they've tried to play for that. That looks like it's trying to block red's hoop shot.
I would be a bit surprised. I think it would be a little bit...
uncharacteristic if
or inconsistent. Yeah, I'd say inconsistent with their tactics if suddenly red took this hoop shot on.
This looks like red is taking the hoop shot on, though.
No, I think this is black.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
But again, red and yellow are getting steadily further and further from the hoop. And I like that the Kiwis aren't going mega tight to the hoop and risking,
no,
I don't know, carelessly underhitting.
It's important. I mean, if they've got a ball 2 yards in front of the hoop, the Australians need to clear it. So they don't need to be a foot in front. 2 yards in front is fine.
And actually, with every position, there's a chance of a block, and there was almost one there. I don't think black's blocked yellow's shot.
No, I don't really like playing for that block, actually, because that angle on the hoop with black is not a gimme.
That is a bit awkward, but I still think you can't leave black there.
No, I think that black's still definitely in a commanding position where it's forcing the Aussies to react.
Actually, Alison is now best part of 8 yards away from that black, and there's a very good chance that red will be heading across the lawn.
Yeah.
And now Judy's about 8 yards away, and the Aussies may be wondering how have we found ourselves in this situation?
Because you took on a clearance rather than putting a ball in front.
They might be thinking we've hit every clearance, and yet we're well behind in this hoop. And it just boils down to they've been a little bit reluctant to just get a ball in front of the hoop, and that's careless.
That's careless. There was one thing you needed to not do with that shot, and that was get in the way of black. I'm not sure where yellow is. If we could just pan out a little bit so we can try and see where yellow is, we might have the option of black being able to nudge blue so it's in wide position. Is that...
So it looks like yellow is on the boundary. It's just coming into shot now. It's just on the boundary. So bottom right of your screen, you can just see it. So it's basically slap bang in the middle of the lawn on the far boundary.
So Alison still needs to do something about these balls because that black was too good. It was too easy for it to get a blocking line. That's a really good clearance from Alison.
Very good clearance.
That's got them back into the hoop. But Judy still does need to hit that clearance.
Black comes back though, and you're right. That was an excellent clearance by Alison. If red had disappeared off,
that's okay.
That's okay. If red had disappeared off there towards hoop 3.
And Kiwis just keep putting a ball in front, and now Alison's got to hit a 20-yarder.
Yeah. And actually, do you think this might be a time for yellow to just put a ball in?
I think that might be what they choose to go for.
because blue's hoop shot is one of the harder ones we've seen at this hoop, as in like one of the harder hoop positions. The clearance is not a gimme, but it's a clearance.
but the issue is what do they actually gain by doing that? Red's only got a clearance on black to the boundary. You're still just giving black a 7-yard clearance.
That's true.
I
That's a very good
clearance. That's a really nice clearance as well, and that is a ball that's both red and yellow potentially in hoop running positions for the Aussies. Oh no, maybe not red.
But how many clearances have we seen at this hoop? How many? I mean, have we seen as many as 10?
I think more. I think more than that probably.
And this is the thing. They at this hoop they must have 90% plus hitting stats, and yet they're still well behind in the hoop. And to me that says that somewhere along the line they've made a mistake.
Yep.
Tactically, I mean.
So this looks like it's going to be red on black to the boundary. And then do you think black will be taking on the clearance on yellow there?
No,
or do you think we'll just be putting a ball in?
I think so long as the Aussies don't have a ball which they're willing to run the hoop with, just keep putting a ball in front.
Yes, I think it would appear a little uncharacteristic for yellow to go for the hoop rather than to clear blue if you put the ball in here.
And I think black shooting at yellow here is a waste, but she's thinking about it.
She's looking at it.
No. Just stick a ball in. Yeah, 5-2 up.
5-2 up and you think they're clearing?
And Opper stuck in a clearing mindset. I think you just stick a ball in.
Yeah, and it looks like she's gone a little bit to the...
Oh, wow. Maybe she was playing for that. I like it if she was.
Not got a block on yellow.
No, but I think if yellow was thinking about going for the hoop now, it's probably not anymore. It does make the clearance on blue by yellow a bit more attractive, and actually it makes the clearance on black by red more attractive. But I think Judy will definitely be taking blue out now. Yep, she gets it. But yellow's disappeared.
Yellow's disappeared. I was going to say blue's got a nice line for getting on the... no, blue has a horrible line for getting the block on red and black, but they're just looking at a ball in front wide from yellow.
Put your ball in front, and if you get it wide from yellow, this clearing business ends.
I think I might be going a little bit further back than that.
Yeah, but this is a danger. If you end up... Like, eventually Helen or Ellie will get either a block or a wire, or Alison and Judy will miss. I think that's more likely to happen than them just not get a ball in position. And
a little bit far, but yeah, it's not wide, but it's still probably 9 yards.
It is. It is,
and the wire might be not in the way, but
a distraction.
Quite close, yeah, distraction.
So I mean, Alison can potentially begin to salvage things here if she gets a very good stop on black. It would have to be very good.
She's definitely going for black, though, not blue, isn't she?
And I think that's got to be the right decision, isn't it? And she's got good stop, but it's not in front. Red is commanding the close to the hoop area, and I think that forces black to go deeper than Ellie would have otherwise liked.
I think that's okay. I mean, you only need to go 3 or 4 yards here, and it's
outside of stop shot range.
Yeah.
And actually, out of all the clearances we've seen, I'm not sure.
Oh, what's this?
No, why? Why?
You don't need to do this.
If you nail the stop shot, yes, it's a good shot. But anything other than that, and it's a waste. You have to back yourself to nail this stop shot, and I really don't know if it's necessary to take that risk.
Nice shot.
Having said that, very, very good shot. Cracking shot, in fact. And by doing 2 things in 1 shot, the Kiwis have just stamped their authority more on this hoop, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, black could have so easily disappeared up the lawn there.
Yellow's missed.
And there's that. So, I'd say Judy's just done 8 clearances in a row. So she's had very good clearing at this hoop. But eventually, this is what you know, eventually you miss one. Like, you can't hit them all. And then Helen's eked out a hoop shot. There shouldn't be any discussion here, right? This is just hoop.
This is just hoop, don't be greedy. But, I mean, Jaws is fine.
Jaws is nice, but I think
Jaws is nice, but just run it for 6-2.
So the advantage of Jaws, potentially, would be that black can... Oh.
Ooh.
The advantage of Jaws, potentially, would be that yellow's gone a long way away, and black can rush peel blue through the hoop. And the nice thing about the rush peel is that yellow is first to approach, and it's approaching from a very long way away. And also, when in the same shot that black hits blue through the hoop, black will ricochet off towards the next hoop, and that makes your clearance at the next hoop a bit easier. Something to think about maybe when you're 5-2 down. When you're 5-2 up, going 6-2 up, just get the hoop right.
Yeah, I think so. The option of playing for it, I mean, perhaps they were looking at that earlier. Perhaps that was why Ellie took on the clearance on red
Maybe.
on black on red.
Maybe, actually. I mean, it's a trick to be aware of, but the scoreline is a huge factor when deciding what to do there. And I don't know, if they were discussing it, maybe... Oh, just got away with that.
A little bit lucky there not to go onto that wire.
Yeah, maybe when Helen was lining up that hoop shot, she was in two minds about exactly what she wanted. But even so, the Kiwis are still ahead in this hoop, right?
Yeah, I think they've got to be clear favourites. Unless the Australians start to make a change of strategy, I think.
Well, I think they need to. This ball should be coming into position. Maybe just slightly deeper than black.
But where?
I think maybe just slightly deeper than black.
Blue takes position.
Red clears, yellow runs. That's the mindset that the Aussies should have now. This clearing game is not working for them. I think yellow needs to be an awkward distance from blue for the clearance. And I think that's too deep.
That looks quite deep.
Is yellow going to have a shot at that hoop?
No.
There's no way. And now, yeah,
that's
Ellie's exactly right. Nice hoop position, not too tight, blocking yellow.
Do you not look at blue blocking red on black?
I don't think there's any need. With yellow taking position somewhere where she's not going to run the hoop. Oh, that's well short. Still hoop running position, but...
They did avoid the risk of blocking black on the hoop, so...
I know, but I think they were playing for much further.
I don't like blue there.
I think you may as well block yellow's hoop shot there. It also, I mean, even though I don't think yellow's going for the hoop, it also makes yellow's clearance on blue a lot harder.
Yeah, does it? It also gives the risk of the rush peel, doesn't it? Which is...
Yeah. I mean, how often... You have to be pretty unlucky to rush peel, I think.
5% maybe there?
Yeah.
But they start to add up.
They do. I think a bigger factor is just you do the clearance and the ball doesn't go anywhere because it.
And you've got to lose. I think it's more the threat of the rush peel, so that you have to play for a side of the ball, which means that you lose it.
Yeah, totally.
So this has to be a hoop shot with yellow, yeah.
I think this shot should have been a hoop shot. With yellow where it is, I don't know how likely that is, but they have to get out of this clearing game. If yellow hits blue, yellow is disappearing behind the hoop, and then blue may be able to get a wire.
So black played two, sorry, so black, why did black not go for the hoop there?
Black was out of position, right? Red had just cleared.
Oh, red had cleared, yeah, okay.
I think black needed more legs to get in front of the hoop, and this could well be a hoop shot.
This should be a hoop shot.
I think this needs to be really. They need to get out of this clearing game. But yellow should also be nearer to the hoop. And yeah. And that was a danger when yellow didn't get as close to the hoop as she needed, I think.
Yep. It was a little bit too far back, really.
And now just put out of your mind the idea of jaws and run this hoop.
Yep.
Yeah, nice
Good
one.
enough. 6-2.
6-2. And what do you think the Aussies will be thinking now?
Not sure. that they need to get a good position at hoop 9. Oh, that's very close.
Oh, it's very close, and they're not. That's not hoop running, is it?
No, jawsing maybe.
Because Alison and Judy have been clearing very well, but it's not working for them. They're 6-2 down.
Yeah, so I don't think I'd actually be going. Oh, that's probably quite. It's definitely not hoop running from looking at that angle.
I think Ellie's shot there is a good choice, and I think she's done it well.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you definitely don't want to be too deep there, otherwise red is just going to try and get in the jaws. You probably could have got away with another foot or so closer to red.
No, I mean we don't.
I still think that. I still think it looks pretty attractive to try and get in the jaws with red there. At 6-2 down.
Yeah, I mean I'd like to
conceding a 4-yard jump with black. That's.
Yeah, and partly for that reason, I'd quite like to see blue go really tight to the hoop here. Like put blue
Yeah, that looks like
basically where yellow is,
it looks
right?
like the line she's going for. It looks like she's coming inside yellow a little bit.
Yeah, and that's good. And this is a danger of approaching tight with red. If you don't get
Looks
that
like
position,
it might go a little bit far. It looks like it's got a slightly better angle than red. It might still be runnable, that.
I think blue is runnable. It's not one of those gimme jump shots though, is it?
No, it's not, but it's certainly, you know, you can only dispatch black to the boundary. Yeah, this looks like Alison's just looking at either tight position or into the hoop.
This is the cost of misapproaching.
That looks like blue's got something good on this side of red for the clearance. I think it's probably just going to be black clearing yellow here.
Yeah, black needs to hang around because I don't think blue can get as good as an off. But yeah, I think already the Kiwis in strong position at this hoop, and yeah, that's a good shot. That's a good shot.
Yeah, black's hung around quite nicely. Oh, it looks like she's looking at yellow. Has that gone somewhere?
It's gone close to 6,
but not tied up with the hoop.
No, actually,
that's interesting. She might have a wired line though. That.
Do you think yellow's clearing blue here?
I think it's unlikely. I mean, it depends how aggressive the Kiwis are feeling. I mean, it is a shortish jump. You could take it. It's quite aggressive given the position of red, because red's probably running hoop 9 down to hoop 10.
I think you'd be a fool to take that jump. I mean, I don't know.
You're not looking at that hoop jump for the game here, Will?
Maybe
Can
if we're
I have
having
that in writing?
maybe if we're having a hack in the club, because especially at 6-2 down, I probably want the game over one way or the other. Playing for my country in a game of doubles.
Oh no, but it's the Kiwis that would be taking that jump for the game.
Oh, you're 6-2 up.
Yeah.
Oh well. in a friendly game for sure, for sure. But I don't know. For your country in doubles, maybe not. Maybe not. Needs a pretty chilled up.
Ooh, that looked like it was quite close. No, I think this will probably just be a little bit of a nudge on red.
Yeah, and especially with yellow having taken that shot on and missed, red's the only danger ball here. And if you get rid of it,
doesn't need to move very far to not become a danger ball anymore. Yep, that's nice.
That's good. And now red's shot's not entirely clear. It's
I think I'm playing to about 4 yards straight in front. Maybe a little bit tighter.
Maybe a similar position to where black was a couple of minutes ago.
That looks like it's going deep. That looks like it's gone too deep.
That is too deep.
That's too deep.
That's
just 2 balls in front by the Kiwis, and blue's probably got a really good option to try and get a block on red there. That's too deep.
It doesn't want to be. No. You don't need to block here.
No.
Just put this a couple of feet in front, and then you can block red's clearance with blue.
That looks good.
I think that's gone a bit right to the hoop. Oh no, it's not. That's very good. That's very good. I don't know if that's what Helen was indicating, but I mean, if blue gets a block here on red's clearance,
6-yard jump for Alison.
yeah, and
save the game.
You know, yellow's stuck really doing a clearance here, right? I really wouldn't be taking position with yellow here.
Oh no, I don't think that's a good shot. I think it's too easy to block blue on red here.
The block is too easy.
The block is too easy. This needs to be a clearance.
And
it's really strange given how keen they were to play clearances at hoop 8.
This is and also look where Alison is gesturing.
It's too close to the line, and she's crossing the line.
Yeah, if Judy underhits this by even a few inches,
then blue doesn't even need to block. Blue
she's
doesn't even need to block red and black. I don't like
exactly.
this at all.
I don't like this at all.
Strange that we're telling them they should do a clearance.
Yeah, they need to swap up to a clearing game.
I mean that's fine. That's okay, isn't it?
That's fine. And to be honest, blue clearing yellow is actually pretty much exactly what
I
they
don't
want.
think blue will clear yellow here.
No, which is but blue clearing yellow is good because it means that blue's not blocking, and it's good to see the Kiwis have clocked this. The way they're going to win this hoop easiest is to block red's clearance.
Yes, I think the important thing here is just making sure that blue's not hampering black's shot when they go for the hoop, and that it's not very easy for red to get the bombard clearance, so sending blue onto black. So you don't want the balls too close here. But you know, a yard between the balls should be fine. Should be fine to cover off the risk of both of those two impacting your shots too much.
And the nice thing about that position as well is if you don't get the block,
You've still got a ball in front.
Yeah, blue's still got a really nice hoop running position.
Yeah, and even if red does clear black, black's still going to have some sort of clearance back on yellow.
Yeah.
As well if it needs it. You know, because they might end up in a position where Alison's got half a ball on black, at which point they lose both. Both the balls get lost on the clearance. Oh, there's a bit of wind again. That's gone quite deep. It looks like it's probably got something.
I'm not so sure. I think maybe blue's strayed a little bit to Alison's right, and she's got most of black. Let's find out. And she caught a left-hand edge of blue, so maybe she only did have part of the ball. And this leaves Ellie with pretty short hoop.
1 yard hoop for the game.
And 7-2, that would be the scoreline. And I don't think we would have predicted that at the start of the game. Nice shot.
Nice hoop.
Well done. Well done. So
yeah, really nice.
7-2 to the Kiwis. Never really looked in danger, did it?
No. They playing confidently, taking on those middle range hoops, forcing the Aussies to keep clearing.
And which hoops did Alison and Judy get? They got 5 and they got 7. Is that right? And at 5, it was simply Alison put a ball bang in front and they ran, right? It was quite short and sweet.
Yes, I think they played a good block as well. They played a good block to hamper the clearance, or to block the clearance.
Yeah, that's right. And then Helen was forced to go for the hoop shot, and she actually made a good effort of it.
She did. She made really good. She got that. Ended up with that blue ball slightly off to the left in front of hoop 5, which hampered their approach to hoop 6 somewhat. But yeah.
Whereas hoop 7 was the other hoop they got. Is a bit more drawn out, but I think the Aussies still had first approach, and I don't know.
They did. Alison took good position with the first approach they had, but because of the position, yellow was offside.
That's right.
So the Kiwis could afford to have 2 shots of that, because they actually missed the first shot across that, but Helen hit the second clearance, but later then missed the subsequent return Croquet.
Oh yes, of course, yeah.
The New Zealanders missed a few shots at hoop 7.
Yeah, but it's interesting because the rest of the hoops, it felt like the Aussies were the ones dragging the hoop out by maintaining the clearing game, but it was actually to the New Zealanders' benefit.
Yeah, I think it was just perhaps one of those pivotal shots where they had the choice of putting the ball in front rather than playing the clearance, and chose to actually play the clearance.
Because, I mean, we actually saw a couple of shots work really well. Some clearances shots worked really well, where they were able to clear a ball a fair distance and stop their striker's ball, and they did this 2-for-1 of, they got to have their cake and eat it. They got to do the clearance and they got to have a ball in position. But by and large, they were really just getting rid of the opponent's ball, and Ellie and Helen were just routinely putting the ball back, and so they were basically in the same position they were a moment beforehand, having done the clearance. And as well as Judy and Alison were clearing, eventually they missed a couple, and then Helen and Ellie were quite clinical around the hoops.
Yeah, we saw a few missed attempts at a few of them, but Yeah.
Well, at hoop 8, I think Helen blobbed a shortish hoop,
Yeah.
but I mean, there wasn't actually that much pressure on it.
No, there wasn't. There weren't any of the balls in front because
No.
Ellie had played that stop shot clearance on black. Whereas all the ones where there were
Well,
other balls
yeah.
in front, there was a little bit more pressure on.
Yeah, she got right.
Yeah,
She got a good one at 3.
Yeah.
I think she got a good one at 2, and yeah, and then Ellie got the pressure shot to win.
So I think we've sort of panned out to the wider view of the lawns here. So it looks like the game on lawn 4 has just started. So the Kiwis, so Webby and Fordyce playing blue and black there, look like they were first to play to hoop 1 in game 2. So that looks like it's probably an Australian win to the Fletcher brothers in the first game there.
Fletcher brothers, clearly a very strong pairing, but mind you, Webby and Edmund also extremely strong. So that should be a very close match indeed. And Webby's just taken an early lead there, and it's 1-0 to the Kiwis now. And I can't quite see what's happened in this game over here. George Coulter and Duncan Dixon playing for the Kiwis. It seems like in this game they're currently 4-3 up, so another tight encounter over there. I'm not sure if that's first game, second game, or what.
Must be second. I would have thought. No, maybe not. Probably first game, I'd expect. Let's just check Croquet scores.
And do we know what's happened in the other ladies' doubles game?
No, it looks like it's just finished. A couple of ladies waiting in the shed there for opponents to come back.
And you can't quite see, but Pete's just pulled off a very good clearance to salvage hoop 8 for the Aussies. They've still got a bit more work to do to get back into this hoop, but he's just done a key 20-yard clearance. But yeah, very even set of matches here.
So actually that is the second game between George Coulter and Duncan Dixon, Edward Wilson and Pete Landrube. So George and Duncan won the first 7-4.
Oh right.
So that was finished 28 minutes ago. So the guys over there are being pretty speedy if they're 4-3 in game 2. So that's 1 up to the New Zealanders on that lawn.
Yeah, there's been a bit of range in play duration, I'd say, because I think yesterday we had a couple of games that
so we
were
had
quite tight and prolonged, and then, but interestingly enough, the game between George and Ed Wilson was also tied, but pretty short and sweet, I think.
Yeah, I think it was a couple of 7-6s, but
they
finished in less than an hour and a half, I think.
Yeah, and they're both playing really well, so I'm guessing there's a fair bit of clearing, but even so, raced through that game.
Yeah, probably just some more aggressive hoop running there to get the points on the deck quicker.
It looks like we're restarting.
So what do you reckon, Will? Predictions for this game?
Well, I'm hoping that that Alison and Judy have had a quick chat and tried to work out why, despite playing pretty well, they lost that other game quite one-sidedly, I'm afraid to say. And hopefully they've decided that they want to take a more aggressive approach. Yeah, and I think if they clock onto that and if they change up their tactics a little bit, then I don't know. I think the Aussies might grind out a tight win here. I'm predicting a 7-6 win to the Aussies here.
So you're hoping we're playing for the spectators and we're going to get to a third.
Dreaming of a third game, yeah. How about you, Rachel? Make your call now. I've made mine.
I think we're probably going to have another New Zealand win, but probably a little bit tighter, so maybe 7-5 to the Kiwis. I'm predicting.
Already at hoop 1, Alison's got okay position with red. It's strayed a little bit outside of comfortable hoop running.
Yeah, I don't like where black is. I would have liked black.